Hello and welcome to the third episode of our Compassionate Neighbors podcast. And this is the place where you learn practical tools, tips, and tricks. Because you're either having a hard time dealing with yourself, like most of us are, and you are pushing to get better at serving others. I'm your lead host, Fernando Academia from TLDR Digital Marketing. And I'm in a mission to introduce or reintroduce compassion for yourself and for others, helping you succeed with mission in life as you help others to do the same. Okay, and for today's episode, we'll talk about how storytelling and content creation can help educate more people and help them find joy in their lives. Without further ado, we'll welcome a very beautiful guest, a good old friend. Please help me welcome our guest for today, Crystha Shayne Funcion.
Hello! Hi everyone, I'm Crysth Shayne Funcion. I am a content creator and a social media manager. Yes.
Welcome,
Hi,
Shayne
good.
Funcion. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm doing great. It's kind of my day is very full today, but I'm doing great.
All right, ready for the weekend, perhaps?
Yes, definitely.
All right, let's transition to you. Let's transition you to a good weekend then. I have a
Mhm.
few questions for you, of course, but let me start off with. Of course, we know each other, but our guest doesn't know you much yet. So, would you mind telling us what is it that you do and how you got into it?
Oh, I am a content creator and a social media manager. I create content for myself and for other people. I do create content and manage social media platforms of autism therapists and early childhood educator, should I say? And I am also a content creator um, a for Grab. It's a delivery and other services app in Southeast Asia. I create content for them to share stories about their riders and um, their merchants, their partners. And I also create content in my personal platforms. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what I do.
All right. Even in your first answer, there were a lot of questions and a lot of things to unpack there. Um, you mentioned that in your content creation services, you chose
Childhood.
early
Yeah.
childhood educators and those who are helping people or children with autism. How did you come up with, how did you identify with those ideal clients, so to speak?
Yeah, it's really it honestly it just came um it's a series of I think opportunities that led me to this like very specific niche, let's say, right? I think what really attracts me the most, or like I love what I'm doing for this very specific niche or topic, is that um, it's something that I am very much passionate about. I am, but in my educational background, I am a nurse. So I took up a bachelor's degree in nursing and even took up
Mm-hmm.
master's, but I didn't much practice that because after that I became a youth minister.
Mm-hmm.
But it's there. Like the passion to really help people, to educate people. My educational background made me um, understand this topic more, and it the opportunity just came because I attended or I enrolled to a um, and I enrolled to a academy. NAS Academy is a content creator, video content creator academy. And then I met this autism consultant, which is a doctor. And then she asked if I can help her in creating content. And so that's how it started. And then I found my passion that this is what I really want to do, helping professionals educate people. Because I've noticed in creating contents for her, I noticed that there are a lot of professionals, healthcare professionals, who really like want to be in the platform. to bring what they've learned, their expertise in the digital platform, but they don't know how. And that's how I got into it because you know it's two different things. There are people who know how to use the platform, but they
Mm-hmm.
lack the knowledge. And so this is where the fake news and everything, false information or too little information, and they because they know the platform, they know how to communicate, and they appear that they were expert on this field. Whereas there are professionals, experts in their fields, doctors even, who are not on the platform. And because they are too busy doing their job, they want
Right.
to be on the platform, but they're too traditional. And so that's where I get it. How I help them to be in the platform.
Right. Yeah. And more info into that. Yes, of course, they were trained for how many years? 4 years, 8 years to be in that medical field, and they were not really trained to get in front of the camera and say something about what
Yes.
they are learning about. They are not really taught about marketing anyway. So it's good that you are into helping these people really get their expertise out there. Uh, I'm sure you have managed content from previous clients before, but and you might have observed now what are the common problems you encounter and in dealing with them or when they want to outsource services like what you offer.
Time, really time. In the past, I also managed social media for an interior designer.
Mm-hmm.
It's really time. They most of the professionals because they're too busy in their field, taking
Right.
care of clients, taking care of their patients, and doing all these things. And content creation is like just what they do on the side. With what I encounter, it's not they're not doing content creation full time. So it's taking so much of their time. So like it's where I have to be flexible. That's for me is one of the biggest challenge, or if not the biggest challenge in um, working or like with offering services for these professionals because they don't have much time. Yeah, and it will take time also to help them understand the platform.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. And by the way, for those who are watching our episode today, or for those who are watching the replay, if you have questions for Crystal Shane, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section, and we'll try to answer them as soon as we can. So let's get back into the questions. Assuming there are a group of medical practitioners in an event, what are the usual telltale signs that they would need your services, or how do you identify people to approach and offer your services to?
Okay. Um, there are people. Should I say? It's not every professionals or medical practitioners
Mm-hmm.
really consider that they have to be in the platform. You know what I mean? Like there are people or there are experts, there are professionals that they're good. Where they're at, they're good. If I see that they're open and willing to be in the platform, then that's the conversation will start. Yeah, if they're open. Yeah, and you know what, dudes? The with what I have encountered, they really want to. Most of them, with what I have encountered, most of them, but they don't know how. And so the main one of the main or like most common question is, tell me what to do. That's and
Right.
right. Like I know for sure you've also encountered clients like that. Like, tell me what to do, and I will do it. Because they really don't know. It's kind of um, it's affirming that they trust you that much, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also takes uh, a lot of responsibility to really help them to be in the platform. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I've encountered some of them too, but uh, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. Most of the people I encounter feel that they know social media marketing,
Hmm.
but they don't. So
Hmm.
uh, maybe a different niche would do for
I
me.
think, yeah, I
Though,
think because we are on a different like field,
yeah,
offering our
different
services.
industry.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure you have encountered some of these questions too. What are the top three questions that first time clients would usually ask you?
Aside from tell me what to do, I think
Mm-hmm.
top of mind, tell me what to do. Can I just give you my talks?
I really wish I have those kinds of clients.
Oh, because my clients are like they're professionals, so they have talks in the past that they have recorded,
Mm,
they put it on YouTube, and that's it. What I do is like I scavenge hunt for like because the challenge with the field of I offer services is that it's very specific, and each like for the um, autism consultants and therapists, they have different approaches. Like special needs in that
mm-hmm.
field, like wide, like different approaches. So I have to make sure that what I am going to communicate is their approach. Like like I
Right.
have to manage and create content for them. You know what I mean? Like I can't like create content that they don't believe in. So that's the challenge for me. So like I that's really one thing. The edge, my edge in that is that I have background. So I understand research studies in their talks. But the challenge there is how can I communicate this very jargon? Like it's hard for parents to understand what are these terms, in how can I make their contents, their talks, into a content that would be chewable for their target audience, that the parents of special needs children would could understand, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where I get in.
Interesting. And for example, I'm a new client and I would like to ask for your services. What would be some common inhibitions that they would say no, or they would are there were there instances that you feel they doubted what you're offering to them?
Hmm. So far, I have some proposals that so like other I have some proposals that they didn't get back to me. I think it was like the communication was not clear, but I don't have that much should I say rejection? Should I say?
Mm-hmm.
Because where I
Yeah.
am at is that like I think I have these clients because of connections, like the connections of to be recommended. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but I don't have much that rejection. But I do have few proposals that they didn't get back to me.
All right, that's understandable. Uh, for for us, for the agencies, we do outreach, but we always lead people to sales calls.
Mm.
And for me, it's pretty high. But
Mm.
the industry standard is for 100, there should be around 10% booking rate. Then from the 10%, about 20 or 30% closing rate. So
Mm.
that's how we get our clients in agency space.
Mm.
Good thing you don't have the inhibitions like how will I see the results? Will I really go viral with your post?
Mm.
Have you encountered such stories?
I think it's because most of the people that I encounter is that I want to be their mindset is I want to be in the platform, but I don't know how, so help me. So it's not really like the virality, but they want to be in the platform. Um, yeah, but yes, I have encountered that I created a video for this client, and then this I hope this will go viral. But hmm, it's kind of it's kind of like it's a challenge with this high expectation. But like we are I think we are too focused when we create content. We are too focused on the virality. We forget that like value comes first. It doesn't virality doesn't what shall I call virality doesn't convert to loyal followers.
Correct.
Yeah.
About the we're for those who are watching who are not familiar with the social media jargons. There are clients who expect that their posts that we create for them would get 1,000 likes or views or clicks or perhaps registration or sign-ups to their programs or newsletters. And it's not always that's not always the case in terms of putting out content. And as Crysth Shayne said, that uh, the value that you put out is something that, one, oh, it's all right if it gets viral, and that's a good thing. But second, it situates your it situates the personality of that medical person to I mean, it gets the right audiences for that person who relates well with the style and the approach of that person. Say, not all people would do yoga, but they would prefer going to the gym for fitness and those other kinds of stuff. The preferences, or say the people nowadays find content that's the right fit for them, not just because it's controversial or so. So yeah,
Mm.
that's social media content
Yeah.
jargon. So for those who are
Yeah.
watching us,
Like I
and
remember those
mhm,
my I'm
sure,
sorry. I
sure, go
remember my
ahead.
like one of my trainers in AS Academy asked me because I went through like a 6 months program before I like officially create content for Grab. So one of my trainers in AS Academy asked me, would do you want to be a creator who has 10 million followers and like your videos will have millions of views, or you want to be that creator who has 1 million followers or less but they are loyal followers? Because
Right.
like different like these things are like we have different approach like on these things. Like, are you okay with that, or you want to be that creator who want to be like millions of followers? So
For those who would want to learn more about what Shane just said, search on Google 1,000 raving fans or a
mm,
thousand raving fans. I think it's a book by a famous marketer, and it explains how it is important to get even just 1,000 loyal followers that would really fight for you and even purchase your content or your offering at all costs. So again, let's go back to some questions here. Uh, this might appear a bit specific. I'm not sure if you're okay to reveal. What do you do for your clients to make their content stand out from their competition?
um first and foremost, I have to fully understand their approach because, like, the field that I'm offering is very specific, right? Second, I have to know what is the problem of their audience. Then we will offer solutions. What are their common questions? What are so that I will be more, or the content that I will be creating will be relatable to their target audience. Like when I was still starting, I was just like, okay, this is good, and it's what should I call, like, these are the things that they should know, blah 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 blah. But
Mhm.
like, it did not convert to loyal following. When I started to be more specific, with um, curating the contents, making it more specific for my clients, so what really she's doing, her approach in these things, and then knowing her audience, knowing their pains, what are the problems, and then that's how. I get it. So knowing really the approach of my clients and also knowing their audience.
Right. Um, Believe it or not, even nowadays, just to find a niche is a really different and difficult task. And even finding that specific problem you want to address or you want to help people solve is even harder. But the hardest thing is to really find out which of your content or which of the issues of your audiences can be solved with your content. So
Mm.
thank you for those insightful tips, Shane. And I know we've covered a good number of topics now, but we're not done yet. For those who are watching, stay still. So Shane, I'll give you a few minutes to take a breather or drink water while I mention some announcements from our partners. So there you go. And our announcement number one: my good friend Rory Vaden is a New York Times best-selling author and Hall of Fame speaker, and he and his wife founded a company called Brand Builders Group. And they have put together a huge online summit where they are interviewing some of the most influential personal brands in the world. Check out tldrcorp.com/brand summit to access your free 30-day recording of this event. This is a chance to learn from for free from people like Les Brown, Gretchen Rubin, Lewis House, Sally Hogshead, Michael Hyatt, Dennis Rodman, Kevin Harrington, Jay Baer, Donald Miller, and Ed Tate. These are uh, most of them are New York Times best-selling authors, and I hope you get to access the content. And the link is tldrcorp.com/brand summit, and I think that's in the caption as well. And while we're at it, you can click that and open a new tab for that. But come back here and let's continue with our podcast. And hey, Terry Wade Thompson is here. And of course, I'll be mentioning Terry a little later. All right. So, again, if you're someone who's looking to create any type of influence, visit the link that we've showed earlier, tldrcorp.com/brand summit, and you can access that content for free for 30 days. And I think you'll really love it. So part two, let's get into it. Are you ready, Shane?
Yes.
Yay!
Let's go.
So I'm really excited now. These next questions would be a bit more personal than the usual businessy questions, so I hope you don't mind. All right.
Let's go.
So we met about 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you were not always a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how you got into vlogging and content creation, and how long have you been doing this for?
Yes. I am. Okay. Um, I'm not really like. It's not something that I think for me it's really a long process. I've been creating content, but it's not like consciously. You know what I mean? Like because I love to write. In so I started there. I started like creating a blog site, and then Instagram came, and then I used that to like share my daily experiences because like dudes and I we met because we were youth ministers in a Catholic organization in the past, and then the process of really wherever I go as I travel, I share my experience, and then I we work together in a for a creative communications of the organization, and my passion for creativity really deepened, and because of the people, we are surrounded with people who are like extremely creative, extremely good. I was more and you know they are and that like I became more passionate about communicating creatively, um but into vlogging I stayed Canada because of what I was doing as a lay missionary for as a youth minister. I stayed in Canada for more than 2 years, and there was this one time that like there was this one time I was sent to the far east part of Canada, and well, I was experiencing a lot of things, and then I realized that these things that I am experiencing, I think writing about it is not enough. And so I started creating shoot videos, like very shaky. I just used my phone, and then when I came back to Vancouver, because I was based in Vancouver then, I just gather everything, cut, paste, add music, and then post it in my personal Facebook account. Like my first ever video, very shaky, bad audio, bad lighting, bad angle, bad everything. So whenever I give because from time to time I also give workshops and courses on content creation. Whenever I give workshops or course on classes on content creation, I show them my first ever video, because in that video I realized that, well, I can do this. It was not a perfect video, but creating video is something that I really want to do. And so I started from there until last year. I resigned from being a youth minister or from that organization. And I resigned. I didn't have like a concrete plan what to do next. But all I knew is that I want to create more contents. And I want to be more serious about it. And so I enrolled I enrolled for a master course, creator master course at NAS Academy. And this is how I met my first ever client, who
Mhm.
is a doctor. And it started there. And then opportunities came, and then um, Grab and NAS Academy were looking for 100 creators all over Southeast Asia, or I mean, like Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines. And so I applied, and then I joined a 6 month fellowship program. And then after that 6 months, I just keep on creating videos. Like I don't like in my personal Facebook account, and from time to time I post it in YouTube and in Instagram. Um, and after 6 months, I got into the program wherein I will be officially creating contents for Grab as a freelance content creator. It's really a long process, dudes. I think it's a long process of opportunities, and also finding myself, or knowing and really acknowledging that this is what I want to do. And so that's how I get in this content creation um, field, or like world, or whatever you call that.
Right. Uh, Especially in the last part, I was really hooked into it. Especially for those who don't know, for those who are transitioning into being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is a time and space where you end up questioning a lot about your past, your present, and your future. But also, you tend to question the thoughts in your head, things that you feel, what you're passionate about, what's your core values, and a lot more. And uh, well, I'll just go through the next question and go straight at it. In the missionary work, the mission was clear
Mm-hmm.
because mostly essentially the direction and the things to do are mostly handed down to us. We are structured in terms of mission, vision, and the hierarchy that is present there. But after that, what was your thought process in choosing your next career?
It was very tough. I really agree that I think it goes to everyone who are who are in the corporate world, or like who are like employed. You know, like when you're employed, there are people, your managers, the supervisor, the company will tell you what to do. For or in our part, we were work um, we were ministers for our organization, and people will give us directions and we will follow. There will decide that we are on our own, but like it's not something that we have to find our own path, like discover these things, yada yada yada. I agree with you. When I resigned, like I didn't have like when I was still thinking about resigning.
Yeah, and
I think
we talk
yes,
like
and
daily before you resign. Yeah,
we
sorry about
talked
that, guy.
yeah, we talked about it. I asked because I was so scared. I was a missionary for 11 years. Although I worked as a nurse before, but I am so certain that I'm not going back to that field, like bedside, working at hospital. Like, I know that it's not for me.
Mm.
What I know is that I want to, I love to communicate. Like, I love social media. I really believe the power of social media. And I know that with my experience, my knowledge, and also my skills and my passion, um, that I can help making this very powerful platform to become a platform to share what is true and what is good. It may sound so spiritual, you know what I mean? Because we were in a spiritual background. But I am so certain that even though I didn't know the specific of this is what's next for me, but I knew that this is my next mission. This is where creating content is where I can fully fulfill my purpose as not only as a missionary of as a missionary, as a Christian missionary, but as a person, as who I am. I will be bringing all my um, um, experiences in the past, my own experience, skills that I've learned through time, and I will be bringing all these as I leave the missionary work to the content creator world. Yeah, that was the really thing that was so certain for me. It was hard. I know for sure you can relate. Like it's
It
so hard
was
to
hard.
leave.
It is hard.
It was really hard. I think for everyone who is watching this, who has been employed for how many years, it's hard to transition from a very certain um, job, should I say, certain life to like, okay, what's next for me? It's not something like you quit your job after a year or so. It's like I quit and follow. I like discover, no, start from somewhere into like
Mhm.
another, like create a new path. It was scary. It was very
It is
scary.
scary.
Scary. But you have to trust yourself. That's what I've learned. Like in that leap of faith, you have to trust yourself.
Yeah, a lot of memories in my head when I was really discerning to do the same. But then again, more on that on our next content maybe.
Mm,
So just a few notes on that last insight from Shane. Uh, for those who don't, we're not downplaying how hard it is to be a missionary. We just mean that when you're in that crossroad, uh, there are different thoughts in your head going on in your heart, messing up with your whole system
mhm,
just because you don't feel aligned with the mission anymore
mm,
and that your mission is somewhere else.
mm,
So we're not downplaying the mission. The mission remains the same. But if you feel, yeah, there are of course there are people that jump ship just because they need to provide for their family and all, and we can't question that as well. We know that the Lord has His ways, and He takes care of the people in a way that's best for them. So no judgments here. We're just providing our stories. But again, the moment I recognize and I identified the people that I want to serve here in being an entrepreneur, is also the time that my fear stabilized. uh, let's just put it in a quote I heard from a friend. He said, "There is no fear when the mission to serve is clear." So once you are dead set on serving these people, uh, you always have that gut feeling that you would need to do more for them, even if you are not really related to them in a personal manner. So yeah, even in entrepreneurship there's a sense of mission. It's
Mm,
not
mm,
just the money coming in and coming out.
mm.
So just a quick note.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that is a challenge. I think that
mhm,
just, oh no, no, not I think. I believe it goes to everyone really. Like you have to ask yourself, it's different when you do things because you believe that this will fulfill your purpose. Like you are mission
mhm,
driven. Like it might be your like a profession, your job, your business, or whatever it
yeah,
is. Even like you're working because you want to earn for your family and for you. That is your mission. Your mission is for your family. You have to be really mission driven, or else you will you will lose yourself in the process. Like if you don't
that's true.
know your
That's
why,
true.
you will lose yourself in the process. Like even when we were still working, when we were not working, but like when we were still missionaries, like when we were not certain, we were not sure if this is still our mission or this is would still fulfill our mission. There were days that we were so lost because we're not sure anymore,
Weeks even. Yeah, weeks
right?
even.
Mm-hmm.
And some are even still lost now wherever they
Mm,
are.
mm, mm.
So yeah. uh, if you don't mind me asking, this is a bit deep. How does the self-talk look like now in your mind, or what does it usually say now to you as now that you're fully transitioned to entrepreneurship and yeah, content creation?
Um, Oh, that is because like content creation, it's easy to compare your content. It's easy to compare your skills. It's easy to be disheartened, especially when you create a content that like you are like certain, okay, like this will have greater reach, and you because you believe in your content, and then
Mhm.
you spend so much of your time. And then when you put it
Flop.
into upload it, like,
One
yeah,
view, two
like
views.
right, like what's happening? And then you have this like negative talk, like self talk, and then you drown and like and you dwell, and then you ask, and then like you doubt yourself, like is this really for me? Like I had days like that. Like I had days like, is this practical even? Like I'm not getting any younger. I'm not in that stage wherein like I can be just YOLO. Like, yes. But going back, you have to really trust yourself. Um, First and foremost, do not compare. It's nice to get inspiration from other people, but like do not compare your journey. Um, it's nice to be inspired for you to improve your skills, but do not make yourself feel inferior just because other people are better than you. Like when I started creating content, like dudes, I really don't know how to edit videos. I really don't know how to edit videos. It will take me like sit down videos and will just add text. It will take me like hours, hours.
Mhm. Yeah.
And like if I just dwell in that I don't know how to do this, then I will not be creating videos now. I don't think I will create videos for my client. I don't think I can create videos for Grab and do like be sharing stories of inspiring stories of people, the Grab partners. I don't think I will have a bigger platform in sharing in the things that the correct contents that I believe people should know about. If I
Mhm.
just dwell in that negative self-talk of you're not good enough, you're not as good, your skills are so, you're such a noob, blah blah blah. It's okay to recognize that, because in recognizing you can ask for help. In recognizing you can like search um YouTube. Like for those who are watching, like videos on YouTube can really help a lot. But don't let yourself be jammed with this negative self-talk. It will stop you from doing things that you deserve.
Yeah, that's very true. When I started this entrepreneurship journey, uh, and I questioned myself a lot more now than before. Before I was questioning the daily questions in my mind if it's still my calling to do these things today. But now the questions are wild. I question my choices, of course. Before I question my decisions in my career decisions. I question my a lot, really a lot of things. Just because you would want to be better now, you trace back to your pitfalls. And yeah, one of the things that my therapist told me was my assignment from my therapist is to go in front of the mirror and say to yourself, "I forgive you," just so I can release myself of the things that's been bothering me because of the decisions I made in the past. And yeah, it's really hard to deal with those negative self-talk.
Mhm.
Also, about negative self-talk. Uh, Terry Wade Thompson also in one of our what do you call this one? In one of our insider meetings or book club with Evan Carmichael, uh, Zane the man and Terry Thompson really gave good advice in me overcoming the fear of the camera. That's why after that I really started putting out regular content thereafter. My first few contents were not that good, I think, but I'm getting the hang of it. And yeah, you're right, really right. You couldn't compare your first steps with someone else's thousands. So yeah. Now we'll be answering questions from the community. Wow, community!
Wow.
We'll be
Hi,
answering
everyone.
questions from the viewers today. If you have questions, key them in the comments so we can answer them for you. Question about content creation or starting a vlog or maybe overcoming your camera shyness. Maybe we can start with that. Uh, I'm not sure if you were camera shy ever, but how did you overcome the inhibition to go in front of the camera? What were you telling yourself?
Uh,
What were people telling you?
I'm not like, well, you know me, I'm not like that the shy person, but like, but like talking to the camera is like the first time is really weird. It's very
It is
awkward.
weird. It is weird.
I've been thinking of like I started thinking or considering creating content videos, or I started like thinking of maybe it's good to start vlogging when I went to Europe in 2015. It would be so nice to vlog about this, but like I just can't imagine myself like, hi guys, like, like talking to the camera is kind of weird. It's really weird. What helps for me, really, personally, for me to be more comfortable is that I started talking, I started talking to the camera. IG stories, like IG stories, really
Mhm.
helps a lot for me. It's like it's more like random. I feel connected to my followers. I don't have like the pressure of like you have to follow the script, or maybe you will do something like that or something like that. Like it helped me a lot. Started in IG stories. Um, Second, especially when recently I shared a vlog, very personal vlog, very personal content. That's the reason why I'm really into this content creation in my personal platform. And it was very tough. Like when we started recording, it's like even like a hard time looking at the camera. I just like in my mind, I remind myself, who are you talking to? And usually, Like, well, when I create that video, I know in my mind, in my heart, that I am talking to these people who are struggling with their mental health, and that's how I will build. I will build rapport, connection through like talking to the camera. But again, but the first few vlogs is very awkward. It's very awkward. So yeah, thank you IG stories, and for Facebook it's my day. Now it's like for TikTok, I think it's easier than having a long form video in YouTube. Yeah.
All right. So now we're waiting for more questions from the audience, if there's any. If there's none, we can continue chatting much later. Are there questions from the crowd? Let's wait for them to come in. While we're waiting for it to come in, let's say hello to Glenn Charles Lopez. I hope you're still watching. Bea
Hi.
Mercado. Hello, Mark Jeffrey Pantaleon. And of course, Terry Wade Thompson is here.
Hello.
He will be our guest for next week's vlog. We'll be having it in a different schedule to accommodate his time. But of course, we're really excited to have him. He's one of the people who pushed me to finally get in front of the camera with the rest of the Evan Carmichael crew. So, hi, Ness, Zeus. Yeah, Ikigai is the way. Finding that point that's really hard to find.
It's
uh,
yeah, yeah, yes, yes,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like dropping a pin in a haystack. Yeah, really difficult to find that thing that meets passion,
Yeah,
finance.
passion. Yeah, passion. Your skills, the things that you're good at, and then the with. Can I just like share
Sure, sure.
a
Go
little
ahead.
bit of that,
By all
Louis?
means.
I realized that the reason why ikigai is very hard to find be- because we lack self-awareness.
Agree.
Really? We're not
100%.
aware of
100%.
the skills that we're good at. We are not fully aware of the things we are passionate about. We are not fully aware what is really our mission and what are our needs. Uh, when we were missionaries, I think the passion is there, the mission is there.
The mission
Um,
was very clear.
it's very clear, but our needs is not to be practical. It's not that sustainable. So that's why there were days that um, I my family needs me, but you know what I mean. We are not downplaying. I'm not saying that, but at that time we were so happy, but because we had enough, and now that we're out, like we are in another mission, we have to know our needs. You know, this is like for me that I have to really like the well, especially for like I'm just starting like as a freelancer. I'm just starting, right? Like one of the things that when I was starting, one of the things that like I had challenges or struggle with, like how should I give my rate? You know what I mean? Like
Pricing,
this
yeah.
is the
Right.
pricing. Like when you're like we have this conversation of the client will ask like what, how much is your rate, and then he will ask how much is your budget, and then,
Yeah.
right?
That took me 8 months to finally narrow down. So yeah. It's
Yes, yes. um, but this is like really the ikigai of when in the 6 months training really of Mass Academy, our trainer really he keeps on reminding us that what they're paying you is your value, the value that you're giving them, not just your time, not just your skills, but your value. And this is like really the ikigai, your skills, your mission, and also what are your needs. So it's hard to find. So self
right.
awareness really is really crucial.
For those who are looking to find or to learn more about self-awareness, I would recommend a book by a friend, Evan Carmichael. Yeah, I've been saying him a lot, mentioning him a lot. The book Built to Serve, or the book One Word. Either uh, I think that the Built to Serve book would help you identify the values that are unique to you or that you really resonate with. Because I'm not sure if people would always notice, but when you're employed, you rarely question your values as long as what you're doing is somewhat moral and within the confines of what's good and helpful. But when you're doing things on your own, you get to identify more which values resonate to you the most, which values you prioritize. And yeah, maybe that's for another topic, and that's a whole lot bigger uh, topic to cover altogether. So we'll keep that for the next episode. And before we end, kindly let us know where can people watching know more about you and the services that you offer.
Oh, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook. That's really my main platform is Facebook. But I'm also on Instagram. I create videos from time to time. I upload contents on YouTube at Hello Shane. Um, it's my personal platform. I create content. It's Hello Shane because really my I create content to help people find joy and hope in life. So a lot of things, inspiration, good conversation starts with hello. So yeah, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Hello
Her
Shane.
links are in the video description already, so feel free to check them out
Thank
after
you.
this video. So
Thank
thank you very
you.
much, Shane. Anything else you would want to say before we end our episode?
Yeah, and also if you need help in creating content for you to bring your to educate more people to create content. That's where I, especially in the medical field, that's my services. So feel free to send me a message in my platforms.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for watching. Thank you, Dudes, for inviting me. I really had a great time. I'm
All right.
enjoying
For
it.
me, I'll promote my services, but no, just kidding. I also offer micro video services. So for those who are coaches, consultants, and business owners would want to leverage the power of micro videos, micro content, just reach out to me. Maybe we can have a free 1 hour uh, strategy call just so you can understand what you can do with micro video. So I'll put down the links in the description later as well. So again, thank you very much, Shane, for gracing this episode, our fourth episode, our third episode that is. And guys, next week we will be talking about a lot more about life goals and unbreakable stories, which our guest would be a friend I recently met, Terry Wade Thompson, and uh, Terry already helped me get over my fear of speaking in front of the camera, saying that I shouldn't be afraid of the judgment behind the camera because they don't necessarily know the stories that fuels my passion. So that's how I saw the opportunity to overcome that camera shyness somehow. And the time slot will be a bit different than usual, but we'll let you know as soon as we'll let you know in the description and on our social media post as well. Again, our guest for next week is Terry Wade Thompson. He is a motivational speaker. He is an author, an entrepreneur, a mentor, and a certified training developer, and also a leadership expert with over 25 years of knowledge and experience, leading others to personal and professional success. So, for those who are uh, having difficult time in deciding for their next career, or for those who find it hard to manage their time well, even for those who are deciding to write a book and would want to publish it, please hop in our next episode and you'll learn more about that as well. So I think that's it for tonight. If there are no questions and all, again, thank you very much for joining us today. This is Fernando Academia, and thank you very much, Shane Funcion, for gracing us with your presence. Again, thank you very much, everyone. Remember, everyone needs compassion. Take care.